This is my Grandad, and I'm going to be interviewing him about the Second World War. How old were you when England declared war on Germany on the 3rd of September 1939?
The 3rd of September 1939, yes, I remember that distinctly. I was 5 years of age and I was with my grandfather in a village called Ribchester, where we lived at that time. We'd been to church and he'd taken me with him to the Working Men's Club, and I can quite remember absolutely as clearly as though it was yesterday the words of the Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, who explained that war had been declared against Germany. There was a very sombre atmosphere in that Working Men's Club because quite a lot of the men who were in there had already served in the First World War, which had only finished some 20 years ago.
Do you remember the first bomb that was ever dropped in Ribchester?
Yes, I do remember that. I remember it quite well. It was about 7:30 one evening, and I was just walking into the living room when this bomb dropped in the fields across from our house in a nearby farm. I can only assume that the German raiders had missed their targets, which were obviously the cities of either Manchester or Liverpool, and they were jettisoning their bombs before they went back to Germany.
Were there any evacuees in your village?
Yes, there were many evacuees in our village. They came from London, they came from Manchester, and they came from Liverpool. Our school had quite a large intake of them, and we were forced to sit 3 to a desk. At our house on the farm we had 2 evacuees. Both came from the Ancoats area of Manchester. One was called Jimmy Grierson and the other one was called Joy Froggatt.
Did you use dried egg or fresh egg?
Because we lived on a farm, we didn't use dried eggs because, of course, we had our own supply of farm. We had quite a lot of hens and we were never ever short of eggs. I think it was the people and children who lived in the cities who felt the hardship of having to use powdered eggs.
How did rationing affect your family?
Well, once again, as I said before, we lived on a farm, so we didn't feel too deprived. The only way that rationing did affect us was with the sweets. Sweets were rationed, and as children this is something we missed. And also fruit, apart from the fruit that we grew locally, apples and pears and that type of thing. But we never saw oranges or bananas or pomegranates or any of the lemons or any of that type of fruit. And I often wondered what an orange would taste like or what a banana would taste like.
What were your most exciting war memories?
Yeah, well, one of the most exciting was, and I remember that quite distinctly, I was walking along the A59 with my parents when a British bomber flew over us at treetop height, parallel with the road, and as it passed over us, the rear gunner, who I could see quite plainly, waved at me. On another occasion, a British airplane this time, had crash landed on the Dob Hills, which is an area near to where we lived, and the whole school went one day to view it.
Why was your dad not in the army?
My father wasn't in the army because he was a farmer, and people who were farming or in engineering or other types of industry which would help the war effort were exempt from being in the armed forces.
Okay, Grandad, thank you very much. That was very interesting. I hope that other people enjoy this as much as I did. Thank you.